with no further ado, go straight to Emma James and MediaWatch. Many in France, including some of us here at France 24, basking in the glow of Paris becoming the Olympic city for 2024. But there are also some people, it seems, Emma's found out, who basically aren't that impressed.
Yes, it does always tend to happen. Whenever there's good news, there are always some people who have to say it's not that great. However, you might have thought that the honeymoon period would last a little longer. Le Parisien certainly in keeping with what you might expect, their front page saying euphoric. And that's how many people might have felt yesterday when it was finally confirmed that, yes, Paris 2024 would happen. And this image, of course, the Champs-Élysées looking resplendent with the Paris 24 symbol in the middle of the street there. And these kind of images were very commonly shared too. A very romantic image, really, of Paris on a rainy night. You can see the umbrellas and the Olympic rings there reflected in the puddle underneath, which is rather nice. However, some people have chosen to do something rather unsightly. This Twitter user turning it into no, clearly not impressed at all at the idea.
You do that too well.
Thank you very much. Yes, I've had some practice. And other Twitter users too, this gentleman saying that he's changed his calendar already, and he's saying that he is fleeing Paris between the 2nd of August and the 18th of August 2024. And undoubtedly the Games will bring a few extra problems to Parisians. No doubt the transport issues will be a little trickier around that time, I'm sure. However, I personally feel it will all be worth it. This person has decided to draw attention to all of those derelict sites of yesteryear that have been allowed to sort of descend into rack and ruin. I doubt very much that anything like that will happen with the Paris sites. I think a lot of them will just be taken back down again rather than allowed to fall into disrepair in that way. The cartoonist Chaunou has got in on the act too. He's drawn Emmanuel Macron on the island of Saint-Martin, of course, which has been hit by Hurricane Irma. He's running along with the Olympic torch in hand saying, we have the Olympics, while the residents of the island are saying, and electricity for us in 2024. It's a little bit churlish, I suppose, to say that you're not allowed to celebrate one thing when something else bad has happened, but certainly some people are. Possibly the most fun thing to come out of this, although still with more than a hint of bitterness, is a hashtag, which is invente ton épreuve, which is invent your own sport, if you like, invent your own challenge. And some of these are fantastic. Stay on the left-hand side of the escalator for as long as possible, cross the whole of Paris on the metro and keep smiling, collect the most bonjours from the waiters in cafes. Of course, Paris waiters, well known for not being the
and this, of course, reinforcing many of the stereotypes about Paris, Parisian people, and, well, some of them being downright miserable. And maybe they're not really like that, but maybe they are. Is that the sad thing we're finding here?
I don't think they're quite as bad as they are painted. This gentleman has come up with a GIF of a small child throwing out handfuls of money, saying that the new sport could be launching money out of the windows. Annie Dingo, I think he means Anne Hidalgo, a rather insulting way to
Annie Dango would be Crazy Annie. That's how you translate it.
She would be indeed, of course, she would be the champion of throwing money out of the window. A nod, of course, to the cost of hosting the Games. This one too, tear gas tennis, because of course we have had many protests here in Paris of late. And my personal favourite, I suspect it will be yours too, synchronised napping, which I think is rather lovely.
Check out that bulldog.
Absolutely.
Written
and this one too, as well, is talking about what could be the mascot of Paris 2024, a rat or a pigeon.
You went to the London Olympics, I remember,
I did.
And obviously there was some scepticism in London about it, but eventually everybody got on board and it was a real event, wasn't it? It was
absolutely fabulous.
And the legacy's been great in terms of the places. And
very much
the death burden, certainly not as much as it's been in places like Montreal and Athens and Sochi, but Sochi's different because obviously Vladimir Putin will sort out the debt on that one, no problems at all. So Paris getting used to the Olympics, and I'm sure we'll play our part here at France 24 to make sure it goes very well. 2024, France 24, it all works together, doesn't it?
Seamless.
What's next?
Well, I only have a few moments, so I will be very, very quick. There is a particular police department in Florida that's gained lots of attention, Gainesville, largely because of this photograph. These three men have been deemed very, very handsome indeed. Only the one on the right is single, may I say, Officer Rengering. And Gainesville Police Department say that he is now under the Cougar Prey Protection Programme because of the amount of reactions to this photograph. There have been 181,000 comments left on Facebook. Would you believe it has gone beyond viral? And it's really nice to see that the police department being recognised for their work as well as their looks.
Emma James, MediaWatch, thank you very much indeed.